yes. Oh, hello there, listener. I didn't see you come in. We're just celebrating our favorite moments of 2021, such as film and music. Also, video game. I'm here with my friends, John, Matt, and Jim. Hello.
Hello.
Fellows.
Hello.
Vanessa, remember Bean Dad?
Bean Dad. What a special moment. You know, a lot of people like to slag on 2021. They say it wasn't a good year, but it was full of so many things like Bean Dad and, cinnamon toast shrimp.
Oh, God, that guy. He got canceled.
That turned into a whole thing, huh?
Yeah, the last update was that the cinnamon toast shrimp was going to the lab to be tested. And that was like March 23rd, and then silence. Still waiting on those results, cinnamon toast shrimp, that guy. What else? We have buttered jorts. That was a fun way to close out the year.
I didn't understand that one.
Sure. Jeans and jorts, right?
Yeah, jeans and
Please
jorts.
explain
jorts.
jeans and jorts.
Well, jeans and jorts are cats who live in an office building, and this particular coworker took it on to train Jorts, who is stupid, to be a smarter cat. One coworker made fun of Jorts for being stupid, and she felt that the cat trainer felt that was perpetuating harmful racial stereotypes about orange cats being stupid, and they had to go to HR.
Yeah.
And part of the agreement that was ultimately reached with HR was that cat trainer would stop putting margarine on Jorts to try to teach him to be cleaner.
Wow.
Boy.
If you guys can find that original Twitter thread explaining jeans and I think it was actually a Reddit post that was shared on Twitter. Yeah, it is hilarious.
And then the Bros Italian restaurant review. That was a favorite of mine as well. If you haven't found that yet.
That was a great one.
Look for that.
That was the one which was like a deconstruction of food.
Where wasn't one of the courses like they had to eat something out of a mold of the chef's mouth?
Yeah, they had to lick foam out of his mouth.
Wow.
And the chef's response to it was also hilarious.
It was great, yeah. What is food? What is meal?
Dear listeners, I think that you might be expecting like Dragon Age 2 this week or something. What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on with that is we just didn't feel like it.
We're doing one of our rare holiday level up bonus middle of the holiday apps. We do this sometimes.
Jim,
remember that year
Jim
wrote
not
a skit?
only yes, Jim's
Terrible.
not only sick, but he also doesn't have an appendix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jim's not here this week because he is sick and he does not have an appendix.
Yeah, I believe it's his lack of appendix that really compromised his immune system and got him sick.
That's true. I probably wouldn't have caught COVID if I had my appendix.
Whoa, the C word.
How would you
I got COVID.
rate COVID out of 10?
Like 10 being the best?
No.
Or-
10 being dead.
I mean, I've been vaccinated and boosted, so it wasn't terrible. I'd probably give it a 4.
Okay.
All right.
Just made me feel bad for a few days, and the worst thing about it is I can't really smell or taste anything, which you guys know how much I love scented candles, and the fact that I cannot smell my scented candles is a real bummer.
Can you smell your chocobo picture in the bathroom?
No, can't smell my bathroom chocobo either.
I mean, if you can't taste anything,
terrible.
it might not come back for a few months. Maybe this is a great opportunity to just eat the healthiest you can eat for the next however long this blessing lasts.
Maybe so, yeah.
Yeah. Break out that kale.
Break out that kale. Superfoods only. The worse it tastes, the better it is for you.
But we will be back next week with our regularly scheduled BioWary. And thank you for your grace in allowing us this week to recover from our various holiday shindigs. My particular shindigs were very tamped down. Don't know about you guys.
You know what I noticed? We got some new patrons. Do you guys know why?
Because... Why? Oh, why?
John?
Why did we get new Patreons?
Because 2022 is the year of you voting for the games that you want us to play. And so we have all sorts of new patrons joining the Patreon. I'm wagging my hands like a Muppet.
Yay.
It's very exciting. I'm excited that people are excited for it. And I'm excited that it will mean that we ourselves have to do less thinking about what we're going to play next, because someone will just tell us what to do.
But we still have to come up with all the lists, and it's such a nightmare.
No.
I mean, you could just trust me to come up with all the lists. Don't worry.
Absolutely
You'll
not.
love it.
No.
I love coming up with lists.
12 straight months of obscure JRPGs.
You just foisted Metal Gear on me and me alone at the end of the year. When I was planning to take it off while these chuckle fucks played Uncharted.
I'm sorry. I just didn't want to play Uncharted.
Yeah, we'll have to save that for the movie release. Speaking of movies, hey, how was that for a transition?
Hey, nice.
Y'all see any good movies this year?
I did.
What'd you see, Jim?
Hey, this year a new Matrix film came out that was pretty good.
Wow, that's true.
I liked it. And I know I've talked about this before. You guys, I assume, still have not seen it, but the movie Pig, starring Nicolas Cage.
Wow.
Probably my favorite movie of the year.
Pig.
I think it's
real
called
good.
Babe.
Yeah, Babe is a good movie. Babe,
It's
Babe
actually,
Big in the
no,
City
it's
actually
called
is the...
it's called Pig, but it's a prequel to Babe.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Now I might have to watch it.
Yeah.
What about The Matrix, though? Didn't that movie give you COVID?
I think it did, yeah, but
Wow.
worth it? No. No, it was good though. I liked it. Though also there was a Dune came out this year. We all liked Dune.
Dune
Yeah.
was great, but it's not a full story. Like, that's... In my opinion, it's a little, you know.
Oh, no.
What?
What?
I forgot
Betty
to
White
record.
died.
Oh, no.
Oh, John!
What the
Breaking
On the air.
news.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Age 99.
Well, she knew she wasn't going to be able to play with Legos after this year, so she said, fuck it.
Yeet.
Wow.
Yeet.
R.I.P. Betty White.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry for disrupting this holiday celebration, but Grandma died.
Yeah.
Vanessa, last night John and I discussed how yoink is the opposite of yeet.
Oh, I think it is. You're absolutely right.
That's
I
very
love
fun.
that. Yeah.
I think I saw it on. I think I saw a meme that said the Lord yeeteth and the Lord yoinketh away.
Oh, beautiful sentiment. I saw Spider-Man. I think I'm the only one among us who have seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I think you're right.
Then I have nothing else to say about that. But that
Okay.
is a movie that came out this year.
Was it good or bad?
I told you I have nothing else to say about it.
Wow, sorry.
Yeah. I'm serious about these spoilers.
Wow.
Well, look, eventually we're probably going to do a bonus episode on it when y'all see it, so we'll talk about it then.
Good point.
Yeah, so that's it for movies in review.
What?
TV shows.
No.
Wait,
crazy.
you didn't let me talk
You
at
didn't
all.
let anybody talk.
You did talk. Johnny, you chose to use your movie time to discuss the death of Betty White.
Okay.
What about me?
You mentioned Dune.
No, Jim mentioned Dune.
Yeah, Dune drugs.
Yeah, you said it. Matt's take is that Dune is not a real movie.
Like,
and The
spice
Matrix gives
melange.
you COVID.
All right, no, I want to talk about The Green Knight because that movie was fantastical. Right? Everybody saw that.
I really liked it. It was good. It's the best film I saw this year, although I really didn't see that many films this year. But easily the best film. For one thing, it didn't have a fucking superhero in it. And oh my God, I'm so exhausted by superheroes.
I did not see it. I heard that it was too adult for me to see, and I don't want my innocence compromised.
I don't think it is, Vanessa.
You said that you literally see like the splooge coming at the camera, and then it splatters on the lens.
No, I said that's what I
breaks
expected.
The fourth wall.
That's what I expected because of John. I think that it actually is not. It's not graphic, and I mean it's a little graphic, but it's nothing too graphic. Anyway, it's I liked it a lot, and I like a superhero, so I did not like it because I like a Arthurian, and I like a Middle Ages, and I like a fantasy. And I like a lot of things about it. Also, it's beautifully shot and wonderfully acted. I also wanted to mention Matt's favorite movie of the year, The Spine of Night.
Spider Night.
Spider Night?
Spider Night.
I didn't convince any of my friends to watch it. I tried. Maybe if it shows up free somewhere, I'll get one of them to watch it. But Spine of Night was a weird animated rotoscope animation dark fantasy, gritty, like anthology that wasn't too long, but it quickly covered like 3 short stories and with a kind of an overarching story that involved Lucy Lawless and like a wizard that steals her magic and then uses it to become a dark god, and then everybody dies. It's pretty fucking awesome, actually. And the animation really is great. Like rotoscope, you hear that and you think like the original Lord of the Rings or something. It looks terrible, but you know what?
What? That Lord of the Rings looked amazing.
And the what's that? I never saw it, but everybody I know saw it, hated it. Was it A Scanner Darkly? I never watched that one. I should.
There was a terrible Waking Life, right? That terrible Linklater movie that is one of the worst things I've ever seen with my eyeballs.
I don't know what that is. But
Didn't
anyway,
they do a Matrix animated movie that was like that too?
No, they did the Animatrix. Used a variety. One of them may have been rotoscoped. Actually, I thought about rewatching that recently. That's a great pull, Vanessa. I think you might be right. But it's a variety of. They use some of them are CGI, some of them are traditional animation in the Animatrix. Anyway. Spine of Night. That movie was heck-in good, and it's definitely worth a rental on Prime or whatever you use, Apple. And that's it, I think. Were there any other movies that came out this year? John still wants to talk.
Anyone see any bad movies? I sound like Jay Leno. Anyone hear about this? I saw a movie with Hugh Jackman that was like a time travel detective movie, and I cannot remember what it was called. I did not care for it.
Oh, I remember that movie.
I watched the first 15 minutes of that Psycho Gorman movie that people were all screaming about with Jim, and I thought it was
together,
super fucking boring and lame.
Yeah,
and obnoxious, and the kid actors were terrible. I don't want to.
Oh no!
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it was bad. We did not finish it.
Yeah,
I mean, Cats was last year.
Yeah.
Or maybe even the year before, frankly. It's all a blur.
It's very difficult to tell time anymore.
I watched that Tom Hanks robot movie on Apple TV and thought it was pretty boring.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Is that where he teaches a robot how to box?
He teaches like a robot
that's
how
Hugh Jackman's
to
robot movie.
Take care of his dog.
Wow. Fascinating.
Seems like a good thing for a robot to do. Although, don't you want to emotionally bond with your dog? I take it back.
1 sec.
It's a bad job for a robot.
John, did you have any movies you wanted to talk about?
Well, why isn't Jim talking about Pig?
He already did.
Oh. No, I didn't really see a lot of movies this year. I did watch the MST3K version of Mac and Me this week with Julio. That was fun.
That's great. That's a great episode. I backed that. I backed that Kickstarter for $100, which is something I have never done before.
Wow.
And yeah, I haven't seen a lot of movies. I need to go watch Pig. I need to watch Matrix, I guess, because I like the Wachowskis.
Matrix is pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I want to watch
thought it
Spiders
sort of,
Man.
I thought Matrix like started strong and ended pretty strong, and then in the middle there was a lot of exposition and lore dump that I could have done without. But I also didn't rewatch the later Matrix movies, like 2 and 3, so I didn't remember who some of these people were.
I did watch them both the day the movie came out before I watched it that evening. And you know what? I didn't, it wasn't anything, I don't know. You didn't miss anything. That's what I want to say. You're not missing anything. Naomi, no spoilers. We shouldn't even talk about it.
Hey, speaking of more recent films, did you guys see that Don't Look Up movie that people are trashing on Twitter?
It looks terrible to me. It looks awful.
I watched it.
Was it awful?
It's kind of, it's bad. And it's like depressing.
Vanessa's mom watched it and she did not like it. My most controversial take, and I acknowledge that it's controversial, I finally got around to watching Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar, and it didn't work for me.
Oh, wow.
Didn't care for
really?
it. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it in particular. It's just that kind of humor doesn't resonate with me. I had the
What
same
is the
reaction with
humor?
Bridesmaids. I don't know, like sort of broad comedy, absurdist. Yeah, I don't know how to exactly describe it, but
Yeah.
just
Is there a movie you guys saw this year that you expected to be bad, but you ended up really liking it?
I watched Netflix's Red Notice, fully expecting it to be a heaping pile of garbage, and came away pleasantly surprised and enjoying it, you know, for a shitty action movie, for like a
Okay.
low plot, most of the film is stunts action movie. There's a great opening sequence where somebody, maybe The Rock, somebody's chasing Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds
Ronald Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds doesn't talk for like the first 5 minutes of the movie. And I was honestly, and it's like a greatly shot kind of chase through a museum that they didn't fill with quips and stuff. The rest of the movie's filled with quips, but I was like giving it that first few minutes to like kind of breathe. Impressed me, and I liked it. There were some good stunts in that movie too. Some good chases.
There's 4 films I need to recommend though.
Wow.
Okay.
Harry and Meghan Escaping the Palace.
Oh boy.
Under Wraps on the Disney Plus, which is a good kids movie. Hypnotic on Netflix, and Princess Switch 3.
Are we going
Switched
through your
again.
IMDb, John?
Maybe.
I haven't gotten around to Princess Switch 3, but I did watch A Castle for Christmas with Carrie Elwes and Brooke Shields.
How was it? Ooh,
It was
Brooke Shields.
exactly what I expected it to be.
She's like a living teleprompter.
Oh my god. I watched Shang-Chi, and I had heard it was not as good as other Marvel movies, and I thought that was incorrect.
I
thought
agree
it
with
was
Vanessa.
as good as any character introductory Marvel movie.
I think it was probably better than a lot of the early stuff.
Yeah, I don't get why it was so put down. I enjoyed it.
And once again, I'll say that I was disappointed by how loose David Arbor's suit
Costume
was in Black Widow.
I
Oh,
rewatched.
yeah.
I rewatched Black Widow recently. You know what? That movie's pretty good. Like,
It's okay.
It's
I think
fine.
it's better than
fine.
okay. I think it's got fantastic action scenes. I think that Florence Pugh is fucking hilarious.
She's great.
And
I saw.
and having her dad and the other lady show up and also be goofy Russian spy people was fun too. It's a great movie. Loved it.
You guys know I like to watch a scary movie every now and again.
Like Pig?
This this year they released a reboot / remake of a horror flick from the early 2000s called Wrong Turn, which involved the original had Eliza Dushku and her friends getting murdered by hillbillies out in the woods, and they did a reboot of it, and it was actually really good. Instead of them being hillbillies, they're like a separatist cult that live in the woods, and there's a bunch of crazy stuff that happens there, and it's got a really good ending. I recommend it if you want a above average horror movie.
Those Fear Street movies were this year too.
Those were great.
Those were great. What about that? Did you watch the Cthulhu movie that just came out?
No, you said something about it like a week ago, and I asked you what movie it was, and you never said.
It's like, what's the Cthulhu story called?
Call of Cthulhu?
No, it's one of those. It's just one of the titles. It's not like it's a weird title. It's just one of them. It's not At the Mountains of Madness. It's not the Call of Cthulhu.
It's just where'd you see it?
Yeah, like it's on like my Fire Stick, you know, like rotating in the.
Like on Amazon?
Saw it in your Fire Stick.
2020. I'm gonna Google it. 2021 Lovecraft movie.
There's that Resident Evil movie.
Wait. The deep ones?
Yeah, the deep ones.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out.
That Resident Evil movie came out, and I didn't watch it.
I've heard it's not good.
Did anybody see West Side Story?
Nope.
Wow. French
I'm
Dispatch.
sure I will eventually.
I'm just going through a list of movies now. Why don't we move on?
Yeah,
Watched Venom recently.
I got lots of stuff to talk about.
It was
It's
Venom.
not
Yeah.
movies.
Like television shows.
Wow, you're just going to take us right into television shows.
Yeah.
You know what else nobody mentioned? The Eternals movie. Did anybody even see it?
I didn't see
Nope.
that.
That's not good.
I'll watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus. On
It is next week, I
Maybe.
think.
yeah, the 6th.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
got my countdown calendar going.
Actually, you're
It's-
right. I will watch it as soon as it comes out as well.
It's
Hey, have
spi-
you guys seen Power of the Dog yet?
No.
No.
Okay.
My friend Paul watched it and he liked it. And you said that it was good, but it looks like the type of movie that I'm never going to be in the mood for. I'm always going to skip past it and in place for like, ooh, something visually pretty or ooh, something funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something that's not just 2 hours of depression.
Yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan of that poverty grief porn, you know?
Speaking of poverty grief porn, how about that Squid Game?
What about that
Oh.
Squid
Oh,
Game?
sure.
I didn't see that.
I watched the
Oh,
first
John didn't watch Squid Game.
episode or two. I didn't love it, honestly.
I watched the whole thing, thought it was good, and then it like got super kind of funny at the end, like unintentionally
Yeah, it floundered setting up its
funny.
second
Yeah,
season,
it did not
I think.
stick the landing.
Best makeover scene probably ever put on film, though. Like, talk about a glow up.
Oh yeah, you mean the hair dye job
Yep.
at the end? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so good.
Amazing. Also, a binge worthy show, Bridgerton, which I'm pretty sure only I watched.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
trying to think of the shows that I binged this year. I definitely binged Midnight Mass.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Which is
That
on
was
Netflix.
great.
The Flanagan series. Yeah, it was amazing. And I just recently finished binging Succession on HBO, which is really, really, really good.
Oh,
that.
I've thought about starting that.
It's the first season is a little slow at the beginning, but if you can make it through the first few episodes, it becomes amazing.
Johnny, what did you binge?
I binged Odd Taxi this year, the anime. It's probably my favorite TV show of the year. I
Nice.
think it's very, very good anime. It's very sweet and funny and sad and will make you have feelings. Do you like feelings? If you like feelings, watch Odd Taxi. But it's funny too. And it's got a mystery. You love a mystery. Matt loves
Oh,
mysteries.
something for everyone.
I do love a mystery.
I also liked, I think I watched it this year, Los Spookies, that I think it was made in Peru or Chile, and it was by Fred Armisen and another writer, and in Spanish. It's very, very good. If you want to watch something different, it's sort of a magical realism show, a lot of fun, a good time. Definitely a good feeling, fun time show. And also, the other two, that's it's like a comedy drama, mostly comedy, about people who are basically Justin Bieber's siblings and what it's like to have a super famous little brother. And it was a sweet show. I really liked it. And finally, And then that happened. The Sex and the City reboot.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's not what it's called, but it's close enough.
And isn't it like and then
And
something?
just like that.
And just like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. And then that happened. Which I'm really enjoying, although they just wrote off Willie Garson. I mean, they had to, in kind of a mean way.
Oh, boo.
Doesn't he just like disappear?
He goes to Japan to be some pop star's
like
manager.
a TikToker's manager, right?
Yeah. But I mean, he died. Like, the actor died.
I watched that episode actually of the show and thought it was really bad.
Oh. Well,
there were some cringy elements to that episode.
But wasn't, I mean, most of it's about how they're trying not to be racist, right? Like,
yeah, but it came off as like really racist.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand it's a bad show. I wouldn't recommend And Then That Happened to everyone. But if you like Sexy City, you can give it a shot. I'm enjoying it. I know it's bad. Don't worry about it. Watch Odd Taxi or Los Spookies or the other two.
Oh, I should also say I binged the Chucky series like a month ago, and it's great. I recommend it.
I'm glad you finally got around to that, because I know how much you love Chucky.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other TV shows?
I was going to ask Matt, but he is indisposed. So I guess this is a great time to move on to Song of the Year. Maybe we can get it done before Matt comes back, and we won't have to hear about whatever it is he's on this week. Here he comes. I guess I'll ask him about television.
Watch out, boy, he'll chew you up.
Friend Matt.
Yes?
Is your mic unmuted?
I heard him.
Yes.
What did you watch on television this year?
Well, I don't know if you already talked about them, but I wanted to mention those Marvel shows. I'm sorry to be a big Marvel stan in the group, but they did put out a lot of really great stuff this year.
Yeah, Loki was this year.
WandaVision? Started the year off with
WandaVision was
last
which
year.
was
a banger.
That was last year.
No.
You might be right.
Yeah. I would put that as my number one.
They set the stage with WandaVision, and it was fantastic. And then
10 out of 10.
And then we got, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
WandaVision was January.
Okay. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, WandaVision
Really?
was this year. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, then that's up there. I love WandaVision. It was great. It's like
Fantastic.
the superhero thing I liked.
Winter Soldier show, Captain
5 out of 10.
America, Falcon
It's fine.
show. It's
I didn't watch that one.
It's not
I
really
didn't
worth
love it.
watching. But then they came back strong with Loki, which was phenomenal.
great. Loved it. Sort of
Then
like
they-
a high-budget Doctor Who, but I'm into that.
With Owen Wilson playing just a delightful, chill Owen Wilson guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a
Liked
detective
how
guy.
all the time he was like, oh, it's Loki. Wow. Wow.
Then they came out with that What If show, and it was like, what if Marvel animated was boring, is what I would call that. It had a couple of like good ideas, but like, what if is they stuck too low concept with stuff that already existed in the movies, and then they tied it all together at the end in a boring way.
I found it tonally a little strange. Like, because it's a cartoon, they felt like they had to, like, not dumb it down, but make it more PG than a Marvel movie would be, which I found odd.
And then they finished the year strong with Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was great.
Hawkeye felt like a Shane Black movie.
I need to catch up on Hawkeye.
It's well worth the binge. Anyway, those are the Marvel shows from this year, and they were all legitimately fantastic. And the only other show... I watched a lot of Star Trek this year. A lot of Star Trek. But the only other show that I would really talk about would be The Wheel of Time came out, finally, at the end of this year. It was 8 episodes. The first episode was not great. The last episode was not great.
What about the
reasons,
middle
though.
episodes?
The middle episodes were pretty good. And the last episode, a lot of it was due to one of the actors, them having a COVID break, and one of the actors refusing to come back.
Oh,
One of the main characters. One of the main characters. So they had to suddenly, they had to scrap everything they'd already shot for the final episode, all the action and stuff, and all the stunts. Had to all be scrapped so that they could redo it at the last minute with some shitty CGI. And it was not great, but also, what the fuck are you going to do, you know? Like...
Yeah.
And also, I heard a lot that once the COVID break happened, when they came back, the COVID expenses were so high that it really destroyed the budget for the last few episodes. But, so, not the best, but I did like it overall. I would still call it like a 7 out of 10. The actors are great. The plot overall is interesting. I know what's going to happen for the most part, but that's okay. And they're getting there. The first book or 3 are kind of the most boring, I think, of the series, in that they are very cut and dry, like hero on a journey plots. So I think they're going to fudge that a little bit, and I'm pretty okay with that.
I remember those books feeling very samey in that, like, each book establishes a new baddie, and then they go and get them. The end. Well,
that's kind of the middle books, which is kind of like, those books will lend themselves better to seasons or half seasons of television, I think, you know? Whereas these first 3 books are just kind of the Lord of the Rings. Like, they go on a long-ass journey where they spend a lot of time fucking walking through the woods and meeting golems and shit like that. Like, that's going to be a little tougher to translate into a TV show. Anyway, if you have any interest in fantasy TV shows, or if you like Game of Thrones or any of that crap, check it out. It's pretty good. It's worth watching, and it's worth noting that oftentimes the first season of a show is a little shaky. So if this is their worst season, I would say, then I'm looking forward to it, being really great eventually.
Audience, come here with me in the corner for a second. Now, here's a really funny joke. When your friends talk about Wheel of Time, pretend that you heard it as We Love Time and it's a show about loving time. Okay, let's go back to them. So, Matt,
yes,
this is a show about people loving time, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like Doctor Who, but it's all about the relationships between men and women and their time partners, and it does get very sexual.
We love time.
Yep, we love time.
Matt, what's your song of the year? One song.
You didn't ask me to look for music.
1 year. You send us music recommendations every week. Just pick one of those. You don't have to look for them. Just go back in your memory machine and remember what songs you got excited about.
My memory machine is broken. I guess my music of the year will be, I went to a great concert where I saw Less Than Jake, who are terrible, and some other terrible bands, but I did see a band called Hot Mulligans, and I loved them, and I loved all of their albums, and that got me through like 2 months this year, just listening to them. And another band called Water Parks, because I am a giant adult emo boy. God damn it.
Also, MGK, this is the year that you discovered.
I got burned out on MGK real fast. I still don't think I think he's got some good tracks. I really do. But, like, his albums aren't any good. And I'm certainly not interested in his, like, life, For a minute there, Google News was convinced that I wanted to know all about Machine Gun Kelly and his relationship with Megan Fox and all that shit. It took weeks of hiding stories before it realized this guy doesn't care.
I have a special 2021 memory of harassing Matt by sending him semi-erotic photos of Machine Gun Kelly.
That sounds like something you would do.
It does, and I did. It was great. Johnny.
There was a new Marina album this year. She's good. That's it. That's all I got. Yep. Johnny.
Hello?
Song of the year, Johnny. Let's hear it.
There's a new Modest Mouse song I heard. Let's see. Modest Mouse.
The new Modest Mouse album is weird.
Let me see. There was a song on it I liked. Let's see. The Golden Casket is the album. I'm trying to see if I can remember what the song was called, but it was very weird. Maybe it was The Sun Hasn't Left. I feel like that was it.
That's like the one song from that album that I was like, I could listen to this more than once.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I listened to some Billie Eilish this year. Let's say The Sun Hasn't Left, just because, we want to move on with this. What about Jim?
I went to some concerts this year. I'll say my artist of the year, even though I don't think they release much in the way of new music, but the Front Bottoms. Saw them twice this year, once at Lollapalooza and once at a Front Bottoms headlining show, and they were amazing both times. In fact, if you go to YouTube and look up their set from Lollapalooza, you'll see me in the audience, probably 3 people ahead of the person recording the set.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there. So yeah, that's my artist of the year. What about Vanessa?
My song of the year is, of course, Butter by BTS. Moving on.
Can we talk about video games now?
Yeah, it's time to really get into our area of expertise. Mm-hmm. We played a lot of games this year. Before we get into games we didn't play for the show, is there a moment of games we did play for the show that stands out to you?
What? Sorry, say that again?
Like, of all the games we played, what's your favorite little game moment from Square Roots? Audience, this is going to be difficult because none of us can ever remember what games we played for the show.
I think, you know what it was? There's 2 things I want to talk about. One, getting over being humiliated by Final Fantasy VIII and my boyfriend's friend making fun of me because I was playing it wrong, and then actually playing it right and finishing it easily this year was a personal great moment. And also finding out that I really like Kingdom Hearts. Who knew? How did that happen? I thought Kingdom Hearts 2 was a lot of fun. I really liked the Nomura nonsense.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You loved it.
Yeah, I think that was great. What about the rest of you?
What games did we play this year?
I really liked Tales of Vesperia and Legend of Mana.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Legend of Mana was a great little find.
Yeah.
What a good game. The best non-media thing I got this year was I have my own little cactus. And now I can whisper secrets to it whenever I want.
Do you?
I also have
right,
my own little cactus.
It's on the it's behind me, Matt. You can sort of see right there behind my shoulder. Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yep. I meant, do you whisper your secrets to it?
I do.
Creepy. So, remember when Yuri murdered a guy in Tails?
Mm-hmm. That was great.
Yeah.
Then he murdered
Remember
another guy.
everything from Lost Odyssey?
Jesus.
Oh, gosh.
I hated
Barely. Yeah, I think for me, probably getting you guys to play Legend of Mana, which has been one of my favorite games for a long time, and I think was overlooked by the world in general. I'm really happy we got to play that.
What do you think was the worst game we played this year?
Ooh, let's see. Not Skyrim.
Oh yeah, that was a great highlight. Was Grunk murdering his husband and Vanessa solving the crime?
That was really fun. Worst game. What else did we play? Kingdom
Final
Hearts?
Fantasy VIII is probably the bottom for me.
Mass Effect 2, Final Fantasy VIII, Kingdom Hearts 2. Then we went to Lost Odyssey right away, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Legend of Mana, and then Tales of Vesperia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say
Then
it
Metal
has
Gear.
to be either Lost Odyssey or... Oh, no, I'll go with Metal Gear. Metal Gear was the worst game we played for the show
But it
this
has
year.
Glass's floppy hair.
Yeah, he just can't hold my heart like Jensen. Was that his name?
Yes,
Lost Odyssey?
Jensen.
Jensen.
Yeah,
This
Jensen.
is
Love him.
crazy talk, of course, because Lost Odyssey was horrific.
I kind of liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Metal Gear was good as heck. Right?
All right. Well, that's enough for the show.
Oh, wait. If we're recapping the year for like stuff that we released, we interviewed Billy Ray this year. That was exciting.
That was very exciting.
And Curtis.
Paul Morgan Stetler.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we played, and that game's had a bit of a renaissance this year. There's been like a bunch of stuff about it, and people talking about how much they like Phantasmagoria 2.
Yeah, Paul's still doing his Conversations with Curtis series, and he's just like a nice, good guy who does not know about video games, so it's been really funny to see him experience it. And he did a playthrough of his own of Phantasmagoria 2 for the first time. He had never played it before.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so you can look for those. And then he did an interview with the woman who played Adrian in Phantasmagoria 1.
Phantasmagoria 1 is so good in a different way than Phantasmagoria 2 is.
Yeah, Phantasmagoria 2, I found myself like genuinely invested in some of the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was still really out there, but like in a less cartoony way than the first one.
Yeah.
It didn't have the highs of Phantasmagoria 1's like insanity.
Like the death scenes.
Yeah,
Like those
are so
crazy
good.
death scenes. But it also didn't have like the groundskeeper lady and her son.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
the awfulness with Dawn.
Do you remember like the death scenes at the end, like when your character can actually die? Like there's a scene where you're like, there's this big blade pendulum thing that's swinging at you. If you don't move out of the way, it is an uncut shot of this thing obliterating your character's head, and your head just explodes. And there's another scene where you're being chased by a monster, and if you let the monster get you, it will show the monster tearing your skull apart.
Was Harvester
it is
this year,
insane.
or was Harvester last year?
I think Harvester must have been last year, but Phantam 1 was last year too.
Yeah.
That's true.
Highlights of this year. Otherwise, I remember when I almost got arrested a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Poor
bad.
Johnny.
Yeah.
For those wondering, Johnny is totally innocent of everything that they were implying.
Yeah.
He claims.
He claims.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Johnny did nothing illegal at all.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about games not for the show? We play games, don't we?
Yeah.
I've been playing a bit of Tales of Arise.
I know, that's the weirdest choice you could make.
It's not very...
I want more Tales.
It's different, you know? It's like fucking Final Fantasy 6 and Final Fantasy 10. It's not very similar. I guess it is. I don't know, guys. It's fun. What do you want from me? I still played a lot of PUBG. Tego came out this year, and Tego was fun as hell. And I think I said on a recent episode that it was going free on the 25th of January, but I think it's earlier than that. It might be like the 6th.
Oh, nice. Resident Evil 8 came out this year, which is great.
Oh, yeah,
I was
starring
actually
role.
playing it just before we recorded.
Wow, you have a problem.
I've been playing Deathloop, which I picked up recently, and I'm enjoying that. It's sort of the same mechanics as the Dishonored series, which I love a lot. It's a interesting concept for a game. You do loop. You have to do the same things over and over again, but I have been still finding new things each time I go somewhere, and I think I'm near the end of the game, so...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's good. And the Animal Crossing DLC dropped, and I went hog wild with that. I have designed so many vacation homes, you wouldn't even believe it.
This year I played and finished Crisis for the first time. That was
Oh.
neat. Psychonauts 2, I think everyone should try that. It's on Game Pass, and it's super good. And also the Forza Horizon 5. That game, a lot of fun. Vroom. I was on Video Game Apocalypse again, talking about that.
Oh, were you? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Johnny hides all of his guest appearances from us. He doesn't want us listening.
I mean, I don't you read my Twitter? I did post about it.
Of course I do.
Okay, good. Great. What about you, Vanessa? Play anything not for the show that you really liked?
I already talked about it.
Oh, never mind then.
And then outside highlights, I saw a goat. It was really exciting for me. It was at this little, tiny little zoo, but a good one. You know, just keeps small animals and treats them well. And nobody was there. Like, it was heckin' abandoned. So abandoned that it's free in the winter. Because they put a lot of their animals away. And I walked over to where the petting zoo fence was. And this little pygmy goat saw us coming and was so excited. He didn't run. He rambled over and then just like presented himself in full sideways view and was like, you will scratch. You will scratch. And like, I could have stood there scratching that goat for an hour. I probably scratched it for 15 minutes. Like, it was just delightful. What's your delightful, special little moment, Jim?
I got COVID this year.
Yeah, you did.
I have COVID right now.
Yeah, I'm not as delighted by that as you are, I guess. But
now I have like super antibodies.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah, you're like super powered now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
COVID man.
Yeah, no.
I'm immune now.
Nope.
To all future variants.
Nope. But I'm very glad that you did not get very sick. Knock on wood.
Thank you. Matt, what's your well, you know what? I have another special moment from this year. I went and spent some time in Florida with my good friend.
That's true.
Matthew Van Zandt.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
And I went and spent some time in Texas with my good friend, Timothy Banks.
Nice. Yeah. Meanwhile, who visits me and Johnny? Nobody.
John's too far. And you don't like company.
That's true.
And there's a pandemic, Vanessa.
That's also true. I would be like, yes, you may visit. Get your own hotel room. I will meet you for lunch. And
that's it.
Stay 6 feet
The
away.
mask will stay
The
on.
masks will stay on. And that's it.
Are we done with this?
All right.
We need to be done
Yeah.
with this.
I think we're done with this.
We're done with this. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't a great year overall. Everyone knows that. But I'm glad that we were able to talk about some things that made us happy this year, regardless.
Yeah. Happy.
Happy.
We're so happy.
2021.
Goodbye,
Bye,
2021. We did watch one other movie this year, and that is, of course, 8-Bit Christmas, the only Christmas movie for gamers like me. And if you're a Patreon member, you can check that out on our Patreon feed. Congratulations. You're welcome.
It's going to have the same energy as this episode.
Yep, we're recording it directly after this one.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.